Yes, our next presenter is Professor Katsuo Tamaoka. He is the professor in Graduate School of Humanities in Nagoya University in Japan. He got his bachelor's degree from College of Education at Ehime University in Japan and graduated Doctor of Philosophy from Graduate School of Educational Studies, specialized in lexical processing in psycholinguistics, University of Saskatchewan, Canada. He has been working in some universities in Japan, among others are Matsuyama University in Japan, Hiroshima University, Reitaku University, and now the last he works at Nagoya University in Japan. He's an academic visitor with a lot of administrative work in Nagoya University. The latest is the Secretary General of the English Education and General Education of all students of the first and second years. He has been awarded a lot of governmental research funding as a principal investigator and co-investigator since 2000. He has joined a lot of academic societies. In one of them, Linguistic Society of Japan, Japanese Society for Language and Science, and some other organization. He becomes editorial board of some academic journals, among others are Writing System Research, Mental Lexicon, Journal of Japanese Society, and some other journals in Japan. Okay, he has 252 journal articles that I think you can Google it if you want to know more about Professor Katsuo. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please join me to welcome Professor Katsuo. Professor Katsuo, are you here with us now?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Yes.
I was wondering, well, I had a 1 hour difference of the, I misunderstand 1 hour difference, but I was lucky to come 1 hour earlier. So it was good because I start 12 o'clock. But anyway, I'm going to talk about the gender expression in Japanese. And okay, this can you see my slideshow?
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. Oops. Okay. There are two types of gender-specific expressions. According to Baudelaire, 1975, gender preference differentiation, these are English and Chinese. So they have a word such as policeman used to be, now people call police officer, that's type of differentiation. However, these are kind of preferred expressions. How in Japanese, the gender expression is gender exclusive differentiation. That means this is a part of grammar, part of syntax. Therefore, it is not that easy to change. And various studies reported some Japanese expressions are dominantly used by either men or women. For example, let's drink beer. Biru nomoze. Let's drink beer. Biru nomoze. Ze is a, sorry, someone. Ze is a male expression. Biru nomoyo. Yo is a female expression. Someone, okay. Yo is a female expression. So interestingly, ending of the sentence, ze or yo, make a distinction of the male or female voice. So for whatever comes ze, that is a male. Yo, that comes female expressions. It's clearly distinct. There are much more variety of ending particles, which shows a differentiation of male or female expressions. So there's an assumption for this. If Japanese is classified as one of language of gender exclusive differentiation, native Japanese speakers may be able to clearly distinguish male and female expressions. And then they can efficiently process gender-specific expressions. When I say process, it means understand. They can understand male or female expressions very quickly. So in other words, native Japanese speakers must be able to process them, understand the male-female expressions at a high accuracy and at the shorter latency. Shorter latency means quickly. They can quickly understand. So let's make a baseline. how well native Japanese speakers can distinguish male or female in sentence final expressions. There's an experiment we did. The 44 undergraduates and graduate students recruited at Nagoya University in Japan. There's an age and things there, but it's not that important here. Most of students are younger. And sorry, these are all in Japanese, but there are 11 male expressions, 13 female expressions. These red parts are gender-registered, gender-specific expressions. Now you can see, although you can read these, but you can see gender-specific expressions in this case comes at the end of the sentence. Therefore, if you have a sentence like let's drink beer, and there's a marker comes after that, that's the male expression. Let's drink beer. Yo, that means the female expression. That's easy, all right? But there are a variety of expressions related to this. So we did an experiment like this. There's a Saito-san, Yamato-san. Saito-san is a male person. Yamato-san is female person. Both of them used to be my students. Both of them got the job now in Japanese universities. They are now associate professors. The Saito-san, male voice, recorded male expressions. Also, female expressions. Okay, you can distinguish male voice and female voice, all right? So therefore, if Saito-san express the male expression, his voice, that means correct. But if he used a female expression like a beer or no more, yo, let's drink beer, yo, that means female expression. Therefore, it is incorrect. Yamato-san is a female person. If she said, beer or no more, let's drink beer, that means incorrect. Beer or no more, yo, let's drink beer, yo, right? That's a correct expression by female voice, all right? So there is a task. So you hear randomly these voice. So if Saito-san, male person, said beer or no more, that is yes, correct. But Saito-san said no more yo, it's incorrect, all right? Same thing, Yamato-san. If Yamato-san says beer or no more yo, that is correct. Beer or no more it's incorrect, all right? So we can do the task like this way. Okay, I'll explain a little bit more. Before that, we have to control the duration. It means all expressions of a female or male voice, it have to be equal duration, because I'm measuring latency or speed as well as accuracy. So all male specific expression is 1,838 milliseconds. It's controlled, the male voice, female voice. And female specific presentation expressions are recorded 2,162 milliseconds, male or female voice. It's equal. So I can directly compare the male or female voiced, the same expression recorded by male or female voice, all right? These are baseline. The experiment works like this. Start with eye fixation, ... The student, Japanese student, have to watch ... all right? In the center of the screen. Then voice, you can hear the voice says, 今日の映画結構良かったぜ. There is a male expression. Today's movie was very good. So if you hear the Saito male voice, this is correct. Yamato female voice, that is incorrect, all right? So you can have a series of tasks going for all the expressions. So the result is like this: 11 male specific sentence final expressions, Japanese native speakers, 98.35%. It's very accurate. Average of 2,054 milliseconds. It means almost 2 seconds. They can quickly understand. How about female voice? Again, 97.31%. That's very high. And once again, within 2 seconds, they can judge. So this is extremely fast, extremely accurate. And how about female voice? the same thing, 98.78%, correct? That is very high. And male voice, people have to correctly reject this task. That's also 99.30%. So it's very clear. Native Japanese speakers have a clear sense of distinction of male and female specific sentence final expressions, high accuracy and very quick, high speed. So Japanese language can be considered as gender exclusive. So it's quite interesting language, all right? So far, so then how can Japanese learners understand this linguistic nature? Japanese learner means Japanese learners as a foreign language. So let's look at the Chinese. Chinese is gender preferential differentiation. They use like English. There's no syntactic nature is associated with gender-specific expression. So how well native Chinese speakers learn Japanese can distinguish male or female in sentence final expressions. So this is a crossover from gender differentiation to gender exclusive differentiation. This is extremely difficult, I assume. So participants, we had 128 native Chinese speakers. Wow, quite a bit. 59 students in second year, 69 students in the third year. A Chinese students, they have a character knowledge, kanji character knowledge, which shares the Japanese and Chinese is almost the same. So they know quite a bit of characters. Therefore, within 2 years, they can jump up quite a bit of Japanese knowledge. That is quite surprising because the majority of vocabularies are shared by Chinese and Japanese, but pronunciations are different. So, okay, there's the age, average age is there, but not so important. So Japanese language proficiency also measured by lexical knowledge. There's a 48 point, the average 32.30. We already also tested grammatical knowledge, that is 27.80 point. And we associate with this. Later on, sorry, I use these scores. We also did the questionnaire survey. Yes, simply yes, no questions, whether they watch animation or drama. Sorry. Surprisingly, 120 participants, Chinese students watch Japanese animation, 93.75%, drama, 95.31%. Wow. Majority of these students have watched Japanese animations and dramas. And I have to give you one more information about them. They have only 3 students have been to Japan. So 120 students, almost all the students haven't experienced living in Japan. So their life knowledge comes from animation and dramas of Japanese. Stimulus and procedure are the same as native Japanese speakers. How about Merricks specific expressions? There is a kaete mo ii yo na. Can I go home? That is a Merricks expression, but they can't say and judge that only 60%, 60.96%. So this is quite bad, actually, because 50% is random. Janai. These 3 expressions are very good, 78 to 85%. Average is 74.5% of accuracy. How about the rejection? Female voice expressing a male specific sentence final expressions. That is, you have to press no button to correctly reject. Itta koto janai ka. This is a male expression, but they can't reject properly. Dai, ga, kai, these are okay. These are pretty good. 66.76%. That's very good. Female specific, again, wane, no. These are typical female expressions, they are pretty good. Oh, well, no, opposite. They have to accept this a female expression, but they're pretty hard for them. Kashira ne, kare, that is fine. So let's go a little further. I'll just skip these because of the time. So overall, present study tells us that native Chinese speakers have not yet obtained a clear gender distinction for gender-specific sentence final expressions. Not that clear. And another interesting factor is Chinese students frequently watch Japanese animations and dramas. They may occasionally comprehend in the way that some sentence final expressions can be used by both a man and a woman. Why? I'm going to explain that. In characters in animation and dramas, sentence final expressions are flexible, used by male and female characters. Why? For instance, characters of female high school students often use male sentence final expressions. I'm going to tell you why. For example, the animation, 僕は友達が少ない. I don't have so many friends. 僕 is expressed by male, but female high school students use intentionally 僕. I. However, something more behind it. What is behind it? That sentence final expressions are basically considered as a syntactic feature. Okay, let's review one more time. 楽しかったは I enjoyed a lot. That is a female expression because wa comes at the end. That's a feminine image. 楽しかったぜ that is a male expression, they at the end of the sentence. That gives a masculine image. So that's a matter of image giving. And 楽しかったはねぜ. This is a sentence final participle, syntactic feature. However, wa is female, ne is neutral, ze is male. The semantic differentiations are involved in it. However, for native Chinese speakers learning Japanese as a foreign language, these are quite arbitrary. They have to learn one by one, okay? And they have to map wa female, ze male, without much sense of femininity or masculinity. And I did a decision tree analysis. This analysis is quite unique, sorry. The predicting the accuracy of gender decision by multiple factors. Strongest factor was lexical knowledge. They know, the Chinese students know the better in words. They have a good lexical knowledge. They have better understanding of gender distinction. And difference in gender expression was also significant. It means female expressions are much easier to understand than male expressions. And also difference in voice. Female expressions expressed by female voice was the highest accuracy. But male expression by female voice was lowest accuracy. So it means male expression by female is accepted as a male expression more frequently than the female expression by female voice. That's interesting. So these are kind of why these things happen. Lack of gender distinction by native Chinese speakers learning Japanese. What is the mechanism of that? Shiroyo, yona, kai. These are male specific expressions which are related to the male femininity. Masculine image. However, somehow Chinese students understood these expressions as a female expressions, somehow. So lost in gender, especially male expressions. I call that animation or drama effect. Well, how does it work? when the male expressions are used by the female characters in animation or drama, it implies to present the female character as a masculine image. So this implication of usage might be difficult to understand by Japanese learners. So for example, female high school student with a masculine image like this, they intentionally use male expressions. So what happened? So wa, ze, ne. So these are sentence finals expressions. These are syntactic features. However, they have to distinguish in the semantic as a gender specificity. There is male, which used by female person, high school students in the drama or animation. Why do they use it? Because they want to express them as a masculine image, strong image. They wanted to be a boss, all right? Sometimes bossy high school female students, they intentionally use masculine image. Actually, this is a pragmatic usage. It is not a gender specific. Okay, all native Japanese speakers understand male and female expressions, very high accuracy. But why high school female students have to use masculine male expressions? Because they want to give a masculine image. That's a pragmatic usage, which is created female expression. So Chinese native speakers learning Japanese language lost in subtle nuance of gender-specific expressions that the pragmatic usages. So what is the implementation for Japanese language education for foreign students? By introducing gender-specific expressions and their various usages, it is not that difficult because if they comes at the end of the sentence, that is a male. Ne comes at the sentence, that is a female. In the beginning, they may not have a sense of maleness or femaleness, but later on, they start understanding it. And sometimes they are used by the opposite way. So female high school students may use the male expressions because they want to have a masculine image. That's the intentional pragmatic usage. So we have to teach these foreign students understand that these female and male expressions, and then they can understand the story at a deeper level, and they will widen their communication skills as well. Thank you very much. That's my talk.